ANNIKA was the lead singer of the CCMA-nominated group Leaving Thomas, and now a highly anticipated solo artist with a new single dropping today by Believe Digital and on all streaming platforms. ANNIKA, congrats on the release day.
Thank you so much.
I love this new song. It's so different, and it's got that James Bond feel or Quentin Tarantino film feel to it.
Yes. Well, that was the goal. It's a bit of a departure from my other singles, but it's really fun and dramatic, and I've been told a time or two that I'm a bit dramatic, so I'm happy that it's out in the world.
Yeah, so it's called It Kills Me. Look it up on your favorite platform, or how can they order it?
The best way is honestly just to go to streaming platforms right now, because it will be out on vinyl eventually when the full album comes out. But yeah, check out Spotify, Apple, Amazon. That's the best place to hear it right now.
So is this the first single off the album?
This is the second single off of this EP. The first one was released last year called Strangers. So this is the second one in hopefully a line of at least 3 singles before the album is released.
Okay, when's the album released?
That will be to be determined, basically. Okay. We're still working on it, but we're hoping sometime in 2023.
Okay, and you did an EP in 2022, Stand Still. It accumulated 500,000 streams in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, we were so excited that album got the attention it did, and that fans seemed to like it and listen to it lots, which is always great. As an artist, you never know what's going to happen after you release it out into the world, and I tend to try to have low expectations because I'm just so happy to get to the point of releasing it, but it's always such a wonderful feeling when you see that the music resonated with listeners.
On that EP, there was a duet with Brett Kissel called Encore?
Yes. Oh, that was so special. I reached out to him to ask him, to do this song with me, thinking there is no way he's going to have the time to do that. Brett Kissel's one of the busiest men I know, and so it was really exciting when he responded within 5 minutes saying, absolutely, let's do it. And that song to me is really meant to be a duet, and so the fact that it turned out the way it did is just really, really awesome.
It's beautiful. Is that you on piano too?
I'm not recording in the studio, but I did write the piano part and certainly play it live. It's nice because it's a pretty easy piano part, whereas sometimes the musicians, they come in and they do such amazing work that it's hard to replicate live. But at least with Encore, I know I can do that part.
And it's funny that you say he's the busiest man, because you would not be able to tell. We talked to him a couple weeks ago and he was just so chill. And he's got such a big tour going on right now that...
I know. Yeah. And my husband is his drummer. So I see all the things that he's trying to balance and do. And that's what makes him honestly so good at what he does, is he's able to do it all seemingly without any stress. So inspired by him in lots of ways.
And your husband is JUNO award-winning Spencer Cheyne.
That's right.
He produced this song that you're releasing today?
Yes, he did. He has produced every song I've ever done. He was my producer long before he was my husband, so I have the greatest respect for him in that realm and have been very lucky that I ended up marrying my producer, because it works out really well for us.
Yeah. And so he's listed as one of the writers on a bunch of your songs too. Like the group that you've been writing with on the past EP and the other singles, is that with this song as well?
Yeah. So I feel like songwriting is kind of like dating, where you go on a bunch of blind dates and then you kind of find who you connect with. And it really is not only a personality thing, but also who can fill in the gaps where you're maybe not so skilled. And so for me, Spencer and I write a ton together, and we did, again, before we were married, we were always really liked writing together. And then Aaron Pollock is someone who I write with a lot, who's another artist. He's an Albertan, and he's based in Nashville now, as well as Chris Yurchuk, who is a Nashville-based writer that I met through Aaron. And it kind of just happened where the four of us would write together and just thought something about this combination is really producing the songs that feel really authentic to me, partly because I'm comfortable enough with those three guys to really share my ideas openly, share my stories. It's a very vulnerable thing to write with people. So I kind of find who I really like writing with and who likes writing with me. And of course, it's always great to write with other people, but those are kind of the core group. And so it's no surprise that they're the ones responsible for this song, because it's one of my favorites.
So is this about someone you know or about something that happened in your life?
Not this one. I always think people are going to think that I have a very bad relationship with my husband. If I'm very much, it's a story about a scorned woman who kind of keeps coming back for more to this guy that doesn't treat her very well. And this is one of those few songs that wasn't necessarily based on personal experience, but rather the musicality of it is kind of what drove the song. So Spencer had that piano lick for many years, and we've been trying to find a song that would kind of support the piano hook. And It Kills Me was something I had written down for many years, just sitting in my book of ideas. And then when we took it to the group, it kind of evolved into this sort of dramatic, cinematic story that we wanted to use a bunch of imagery about all these different ways that you can be killed, which sounds very, morbid, but it kind of is still a fun song in some ways. People have to go listen to it, I guess, to get the vibe. But so it was one of the few songs that wasn't necessarily, hey, I'm going through this, let's write about it, which is what I do a lot of the time. It was more, wouldn't it be cool to write a James Bond inspired song with this piano hook and this lyrical hook called It Kills Me. And, we went from there and this was the end result.
Well, the end result is pretty awesome. I love this song.
Thank you.
Even though I haven't been able to listen to it very much because it just dropped today, and that's why I had to ask about the writers and are you using the same people, because it is different from your past songs.
Yes, and that's what I love about, if you're writing with good writers, generally they can pivot and really we kind of pushed ourselves on this one genre-wise to see if we could do something a bit different than our typical kind of country style song. And then with production, Spencer really pushed it to have different instruments involved. There's a whole string orchestra involved. And so it's a really special song in that way. And that's why it's a single, is because it kind of stands on its own, while it also is still consistent with my, I guess, typical sound in that it's very vocal heavy and dramatic. I've said before that I'm a little dramatic, and this song kind of plays to my strengths in that department.
So can we expect a music video to come along with this?
Yes, we have filmed the music video, and it's currently being edited. It's going to be done by the end of the week, and I have to tell you, this is my favorite video I've ever done. It's definitely, I had to get into character a bit and show off some of my community theater acting experience that I've had. And so it's really fun and definitely plays to that 70s inspired vibe. So I'm very excited for that one to come out.
It's a busy week for you then. If that's coming out, you've got this single dropping, and then on Tuesday, June 6th, you're going to be at Bar Cathedral in Toronto performing an acoustic set for Canadian Music Week.
That's right. I'm there for Canadian Music Week, and I'm so excited.
Have you done Canadian Music Week before?
I have not. It is my first time. I hear it's going to be a lot of fun.
You've done some cool Canadian things, though. Calgary Stampede, the grandstand show?
Yes, that was probably my career highlight, mostly because when I performed in that, I got to sing Prince's Purple Rain on a flying piano.
What?
The piano was going over a crowd of 20,000 people. So it's like, yeah, you don't do that every day. So I have had some pretty cool performance opportunities, and I'm excited that this will be a new one for me.
And way back in the day, you were on Canadian Idol.
Yes. Oh my goodness. It's so funny. I keep on I used to say, oh yeah, that was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And now I'm thinking about it, and it's like, oh my goodness, it was 2007. I was in 11th grade. So it was a while ago. It was definitely a while ago, but definitely I always say Canadian Idol made me realize, okay, I want to do this. I'm not quite ready to do it at 16. I've got to, work on my skills and write more and perform more. And that's what I did. But I'm very thankful for that opportunity, because it really showed me that I wanted to be in music full time.
And now you are. So can we expect a tour?
Well, with 2 kids under 2, it's hard for me to get away. And I think that what my strategy now is to go to kind of these festivals or different show opportunities and pick the ones that I really feel are best suited for what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to be at Canadian Music Week this coming week, and then I'm back in Toronto for North by Northeast, which is a festival I'm really excited to be at. And then, a few gigs here and there in the summer. I'm happy to be back performing in Alberta, but nothing crazy like, a 3-month tour. my husband's going to be on tour in the fall with Brett. So I want to be the one at home with the kids. But I'm excited for all the live shows coming up and look forward to making the most of them.
Well, we are excited for this new song, It Kills Me. It's out now. Everybody check it out. And ANNIKA, thank you so much for taking the time with me on release day.
Thank you. I appreciate it.